Hi Glooscap First Nation, it's me, Jess. We're gonna start this video off. I've noticed that we've been doing a lot of posting and talking about changes and how we feel that our hands are all tied and that we've got nobody to help us. And it pretty much all is true, you know, unless you sit back and you say, okay, fine, I'm just not gonna take it anymore. Well, luckily, I am that one person that just sat back and said, fine, I ain't going to take it anymore. Legally, lawfully, we know that our chief and counsel are crooked. We know that we're talking millions of dollars. Just look at how long each of the counselors and the chief have been in office, and then look at our funding from Indian Affairs, look at our VLT money, and you will know, especially when you look and you see that we really don't have that much, the cash on hand and so forth. These guys have got a pretty big nest egg. So I contacted the government, the Gaming Commission actually, for the province of Nova Scotia. We have an agreement with them. Our last agreement ended in 2009, and we've been since going on an extension. And Mrs. Nancy Leaks from the Gaming Commission is currently investigating our reserve. And the reason they are investigating our reserve is because they are in breach of their agreement with the province in regard to our gaming, our VLT machines on the reserve. The 25% that Mike is receiving of our VLTs actually that is what led them to be in breach of their agreement with the province. They were not allowed to do that. Our chief and counsel were not allowed to enter an agreement with Mike Halliday. It had to go to referendum. It had to go to vote. And unless, of course, they can prove that it actually did go to referendum, which it didn't, because Department of Indian Affairs has no idea this agreement even exists. We would not know of this agreement if it had not been for our accountant. And the fact that somebody, one of our band members, actually pointed out that where's the other $500 and some thousand gone from our VLTs? So this is what it took. It took us all these years to get to this point where we are not in control of our elections. And again, there's I'm still not giving up on the elections part, because I don't want this chief and counsel to be able to run in the next election. And I'm pretty sure that this agreement, this breach of contract, because now what's happened is all the activity that's been going on up at the band hall, some people have noticed that was because of me. I actually said enough is enough, and I am going to hold somebody accountable, and it just so happens that I hit the right person. And as far as she actually has a conscience, and she actually seen and knew that there is a big problem, and she's even said it all along, that there is definitely a big problem with the way that bands are using the funding that they receive from the VLTs. This is the one and only opportunity that we have as band members that we actually caught them. Mike Halliday will be ineligible to run in the next election. Shirley Clark will be ineligible. Lorraine Whitman will be ineligible. The only one we really have to contend with now is Kristen. And then you got to ask yourself, Kristen took, now I heard this is strictly gossip, but I heard that Kristen took $10,000, the Christmas bonus that he got when he didn't even, actually he wasn't in office, I guess, until January or February or something like that. They retroed him $10,000. Now, if that is true, then that is a fraudulent charge. And we have to, as a band membership, each and every single one of us go to your local RCMP, open up a file, get an investigation going. They can't, you know, they may be able to sit back and ignore one, but if we as a band membership, every other day a new band member goes into their local RCMP and lays a charge that there is fraud being committed, we'll get our investigation. Not only that, but this is what I want. Once the government lays their charge, because there are charges going to be laid, once our government lays that charge, the Nova Scotia, it's just the same as what happened up in Cape Breton with the expense scandal. This is what we're getting. We actually do have the government. For once, our chief and counsel screwed up. Well, did they screw? Yeah, they screwed up. This is why we have not had our accountant at previous meetings. Like, all this stuff is just finally trickling in, and it's going click, 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 click. All the pieces are falling in together. The puzzle is there before us, and the big picture is there. These guys have been in. So, I'm excited about this. So I want you band members to know that, guess what? We got them. We got them. They are going to face some very trying times now. Shirley is sitting back saying, you know, that she's not going to run. I hope that is true. But I want everybody to know the reason why she's not running is because she actually is going to be. Look, I hope they give jail time, and then we as band members need to go and sue each and every Lorraine, Shirley, and Mike. We can't do anything to Janice. God rest her soul. She's no longer with us. She did what she did. She's no longer here. We have to forget about that, and we will. But the rest of them, while they are here on this earth, they are going to pay. We want our money back. We want our money back. We have to fight to get our money back. We want charges, real legitimate charges laid. And then we have to talk about these other businesses that our band is involved in, such as our tobacco, and the fact that we as band members, for not having any band-based members here in the province, we're part of the problem. But there's something going on at that store. There is some serious, who owns the store? Let's even start there, because if Mike didn't get his piece of land, did that actual transaction go through? Or is Mike the owner of the store? Nobody has asked this question. Ask who? They're not going to answer you anyways. They'll, oh, that's part of the band, that's part of the band. But the fact of the matter is that we're giving Mike 25% of our VLTs. Well, that's part of the band's money too. So I seriously think that we need to look into the store, because there's a lot more going on, and I know for a fact this time charges are going to be laid. So I want to rest assured and let you guys know that our struggle to rebuild our community has just begun, but our struggle of having to put up with their corruptness is over. Is over. That's why they're all up there freaking out, and now you guys need to know that they're up there freaking out. Come this, with our new election coming up, our meeting, which I'm not allowed to go because I was banned, because I videotaped the minutes of our meeting, because all of our motions were being thrown out. Legitimate motions to have this band held accountable were literally just deleted, and then a copy sent to Department of Indian Affairs to verify that the meeting, took place. But without those motions being in there, we were screwed. This chief and council screwed themselves, and the reason they did that was because they kicked me out of the meeting. If they had not kicked me out of the meeting with that nice letter that they wrote me stating that the reason they did kick me out of the meeting was because I had recorded our minutes. I had recorded the meeting. Well, that's what got them. They acknowledged that what I posted on YouTube was in fact our meeting. And what was in the audio recording? In the audio recording, you have our accountant telling us that we are giving Mike 25% of our VLTs. Nobody could do anything. Indian Affairs couldn't do anything because I couldn't get a hold of the minutes of the meeting. And I had that on audio, and the Tax Federation guy, Mr. Lacey at the Nova Scotia Tax Federation, is the one that told me if the problem is that chief and council are messing with your band minutes, and that's how they're able to keep the corruption going, then maybe you should post those so that your version comes out first. So therefore, anything that they come out with, if it's not the actual audio, then you know there's fraud going on. I said, hey, what the hell do I have to lose? But that's how this all started. Tax Federation man told me, post your YouTube video. I posted my YouTube video, and this is where we're at. But I've been sitting back for weeks knowing that this is coming to an end, and I hated myself for it because I wanted to be able to tell the band membership that, look, we made it. We made it to the point where we don't have to put up with this crap anymore, and we're not going to. But we have a lot of healing to do as a community, and it's going to take time to get over the fact that, you know, we were just downright lied to. And it no longer matters what their motivation for it, because it's done. It's done. What motivated them was greed, and in controlling people and controlling people's lives and literally making their lives miserable. I can't fathom other than to sit back and say that these people got some serious character flaws, but I don't mind now, because their legacy they wrote themselves. When our band membership starts telling stories and retelling stories, and let me tell you, we will be telling this story to our children. This is how you avoid having bad character. This is how you avoid, you know, being a crook. You do what they do, and this is what you're going to end up like. And every one of them, Shirley's grandchildren, Mike's grandchildren, Lorraine's grandchildren, this is a story that they're going to grow up in our community with all of those people that they have wronged. These are the stories that their family, none of them will be able to sit back and hold their head up, because the fact of the matter is that these people, this one family, took it all down. But we gotta heal. We gotta make sure that our community shuns these people. You know, as it is, I don't talk to any of them. I won't even acknowledge them, because they're crooked. They don't deserve my acknowledgement. They don't deserve a hello or have a nice day or anything like that. Band members, now I mean, you take this information and let's go with it. I started it. All I'm asking for is for the rest of my band membership to sit back and say, because I tell you what, it only took one person to change, make a change. One person it took to make a change. That change was a hard one. It really was. But now that it's done, I am ever so grateful now that it's done. Their greed and everything else is finally putting an end to what we have been living. And we wondered how come it is that we couldn't get, you know, a fair election. I kept saying to myself, you know, either we are really stupid people. Well, that's just it. We were stupid. How could the band membership, 95% of the band membership, vote for these people knowing what they were doing? Well, I don't think that it was that. I honestly do believe that all of our elections have been bought and paid for. Sheila Mintus, as far as I'm concerned, has not gotten off the hook. That is another thing that will be investigated. The Department of Indian Affairs, actually the RCMP stated that they did feel that they had grounds for an investigation because our election wasn't held to our bylaws. But when they approached Department of Indian Affairs told them that that would have to be dealt at the band level. So when the RCMP had contacted the band, of course the band said, no, we don't have a problem. So therefore I was told that, you know, sorry, your chief and council don't feel that there is a need to open an investigation, that as far as they're concerned the matter, you know, was dealt with. Well, that may have been, but guess what? Nowadays nothing's written in stone. So I just want to say, you know, Tom, you're my family. Hey, even Mike Halliday, as much as what I would hate to say it, he's my family too. You know, the fact of the matter is he's a human being, and I gotta respect that. But I don't have to agree with him. I definitely don't have to waste my time and my breath on any of them. But I want my band membership, you know, take care of each other. This is just the beginning of a very, very long battle. Because, you know, there are laws out there that do protect them. But like I said, if we keep vigilant and we just keep at it and don't let a day pass where somebody is not being recognized for what they've done, that's what I want. You know, I want everybody to sit back and say, yeah, they're crooks. We know it. Okay, did I say everything? I think I said everything. Just everybody take care of each other. Love each other. Acne and Gessalou.